Welcome to this video. In this video, we will be discussing about some of the basic Git operations. So to do that, we have to create a repository in Azure DevOps. So let me do that. Let me create a new project here. Within the project, we have to create a repository. The project by itself will not have a repository. So you have to create one. So you just go to the repo, click on that. It will tell you that, hey, like there is no repository, you have to create a new one. So which I'm going to do it with the default file, in this case readme.md file. So I wanted to clone this particular repo. So let me copy here. If this is your very first time, then you have to generate a token here. They call it as a password. It's basically a PAT token, personal access token. Then you can navigate to Visual Studio Code, go to new terminal. You can say git clone the URL that you copied. Now the repository is now cloned in your local machine. Now you can open that. You can go to the source control. Make sure you got the latest. I know, like, this is the very first time, it should be the latest, but making sure that you have the latest, just go to these three uh, dots here, click on this pull. That will pull any latest changes. Now you can go to the file. So these are all the things that we will be discussing in this video, right? So first we will be discussing about Git Login. So again, like, let me go here. So when we create a new repository, when you try to clone, you have to first log in. To do that, you click on this clone, copy that URL, go to the terminal, use git clone and paste this URL. If it is your very first time, you will be asked to provide the credentials. At the time, you can generate the credentials and paste it over there. That we discussed. We do know, like, how do we create a repository. First we created a project. Within that, we initialize a repository, right? So both of these we discussed. And clone a repository, we did it using the uh, git clone, right? So git clone command we created. And now, before we go to the step number 5, creating a new branch from main branch, we made some changes. So let me go ahead and make a commit here. Commit in the sense, like, basically whatever the change that you made in your local machine, you are sending it through the remote or a source control, version control repository, right? So click on here. You can click on this or this will uh, add all those changes into the staging area. Or you can also go here, go to commit, go here, sorry, go to changes, click on all, stage all changes. You can do anyways. Usually, like, I will click on this plus button to add all those files into the staging area. So provide a comment here. So as I have updated, I am saying updated readme.md md, make a commit. And then you can go to this dots again, go to push. This time around, we are pushing it from our local machine to the remote machine, so you can say push. So now if you go to the repository in the Azure DevOps and refresh your page here, or maybe, like, if you go to the readme file, and you will see all those changes, right? So now we'll go back to uh, step number 5, create a new branch. So let me create a new branch here itself. So you can click on this drop down, click a new branch, call it as a feature branch, features branch, or maybe like feature branch, create. Now if you go back to your Visual Studio, you can go here, click here, and here you can say fetch. So basically, like, fetch, it just goes and reads the various branch information. Now if you go here, you will see that the feature branch also, right? So, and if you, I also have a extension called git graph. So if you go here, go to the extension and type git graph, you will see it. This is installed here. Now if you go to the source control and if you click on this, let me close this one. If you click on this one, then you will see, uh, so we have three branches, right? Sorry, two branches. One is the origin head, so there is no deviation between these branches. Now what I want to do is that I want to make a commit into the feature branch. So now let me go here, let me go to the readme file, let me make a small change here, maybe like let me remove these lines, extra lines. Let me, now that I made a change, I have to make a commit. Like these changes are local, so I'm just saying like updated readme readme.md file, right? So again, you can click on this so that all those changes, the files will be moved to the staging, and you can make a commit. Now this is in the feature branch. Now again, if you go to the git graph, you will see there is a deviation saying that, hey, like your main branch has something different, but your feature branch has something different. So what you want to do is that you want to create a pull request. Now let's go to the Azure DevOps. Now let me just do a refresh here. So it says that there is update, create a pull request. You can create a pull request. It shows that, hey, like these are all the changes, and this is the command associated with that, right? So now from feature branch we are merging into the main branch. Let me create a commit, create a pull request. uh, okay, so this time around it says that there is no merge conflict. Let me create a merge conflict. So okay, so let me go ahead and complete this merge here. I don't want to delete the feature branch. Okay, let me go ahead and delete the feature branch as well. So now if you go here, if you look into the branches, now we only have one branch. The feature branch got deleted because after the merge it got deleted. That is what usually we do. So now we discuss about creating a branch and creating a pull request and merging it. Now let me also show you the merge conflict. Let me do the same thing. Let me create a new branch again. Call it as a feature 2. Okay, or maybe like a features merge conflict. Okay, let me create one. Again, this is from the based out of the main branch. So now let me go here, let me do a refresh here. If you do a refresh here, okay, so maybe first we have to fetch the changes. So let me fetch it. Okay, now let's do the refresh. So now you see here, so the feature branch got merged into the main branch, and we created a branch called a merge conflict. Okay, so now let me get the, let me, they call this activity, right? So when you click on this icon, so here whatever you see here, they call it as a checkout process. So now we are checking out to the feature merge conflict. Okay, now let me go to the readme file. Let me add one extra line here. Let me remove the dots here. Okay, so now I made a change into the merge conflict. Now let me go to the main branch again. Go to the main branch. So if you, the main branch, let me edit here. Usually like we will not do anything in the portal, but I don't want to use two different IDs to demonstrate that, and that's why like I'm using the portal here. So instead of a single empty line, I'm making two empty lines here. Okay, so this is one empty line. Okay, so this is first empty line and this is second empty line. Let me directly make a commit here into the main branch. So now if you see, there is a difference, right? Because like this particular branch merge conflict has only one empty line, and this one has two empty lines, right? So now let me also uh, okay, let me stage all the changes, and let me say like updated readme file, readme.md. Let me commit, let me sync. Okay, now if you go to the portal here, now let's change it to the feature match conflict. And if you create a pull request, uh, files, so there is a match conflict, because like one file has one empty line, the other file has two empty lines, so that needs to be fixed. So if you have the, this is the free Azure DevOps, but if you have a paid one, there will be another tab says conflict, which I don't. This is a free version. So now what I want to do is that I want to go back to Visual Studio Code. Now let me go to the main branch, which is my target branch. So let me go to the main branch. Let me sync, which means that I'm pulling the changes from the main branch. Now let me go to the actual branch, which is my match conflict branch. Let me go here, and if you go to the branches, let's say merge, right? So now you want to merge your merge conflict branch with your main branch. So now it says that hey, like there is a conflict, I cannot merge. So here current changes, like whatever the changes that you made in your merge conflict, that is what current changes means. Either you can accept that, or you can accept from the main branch, or you can accept both, or you can do a compare. So let's do the comparison here. Here it says that so here you can see this side represents the current changes, and this side represents the incoming changes. So it's up to us, or what we can do, we can uh, we can actually like it has so this one has two empty lines, and this one has only one empty line. So maybe like let me go ahead with the current changes, and let me save it here. Or like you can also manually make the changes, like if you think multiple lines you wanted to have it, that is also can be done. So now we made the changes. Now let's now you can make the commit here, sync changes. Now if you go to the portal and refresh it, it will say like there is no match conflict, it's resolved. Now you can approve and complete that pull request. Now if you go to the main branch, you will see the updated file here. I think we let me go to the file itself. Yeah, now you see it here. It has only one line of a change here. So that's how you can handle your match conflict. So let's also discuss about cherry pick. So let me show you what is that. So first we have to create a release branch. Let's say like I have a release slash v 1.0.0. That is again based out of the main branch. Now both the release and the main are identical. Now let's assume that the release branch it's deployed into the production, but in the meantime I'm making some changes here. So here let me add something like changes one. Okay, so let me commit here. Let's assume that this change it's nothing but your production fix. Okay, uh, now also I'm adding, making another commit here. So make it to commit. So if you see here, your main branch has two changes, change one and change two, but like both are kind of a fixes, but I don't want the change two in production. I only want the change one in the production, which means that this change one from main branch should go to the release branch. So to do that, go to history. You have to, so what you have to do, you have to pick the corresponding change. In this case, this is the change. So let's pick that. Let's go to cherry pick target target branch. It's that release branch. So cherry pick. So that is going to create another pull request. So now let me approve and let me complete. So basically, like what we have done here is that, so from you only see change one, right? So the main branch has two changes. I don't need the second change to be part of release one. I only need a specific change. So I pick only that specific change into the release brand and put it into the release, like go for the release deployment, right? So far in this video, we discussed how do we create a project, how do we initialize the, create a repo, initialize the repo, clone the repo, create a new branch from a main branch, and what is fetch means, what is pull request, how do we pull, how do we commit, how do we push, how do we create a pull request, how do we match the pull request, if at all, if there are any changes in the, if there are any match conflict, how do we resolve the match conflict. So these are all the very fundamental things that you should know whenever you are handling with your source control. That's all we have for this video. Thank you for watching.